And welcome back. I'm Bill Mahler. We're going to talk about shenanigans that appear to be going on at the College of DuPage, which happens to be Illinois' second largest academic institution, right behind the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. Here's a sampler. The Board of Trustees approve a $763,000 buyout for the school president, who's going to be leaving 3 years early. A $190,000 tab for wine and meals at the school's fancy but mostly empty gourmet restaurant that the president wanted built. $630,000 in no-bid projects tied to the College of DuPage Foundation. DuPage County prosecutors have subpoenaed financial records. Twice grand juries have issued subpoenas. No wonder a recent Tribune editorial was headlined, "College of DuPage Trustees, It's Time to Go." However, there is one trustee who has been repeatedly singled out and praised for her courage. Last summer, she was censured by the board because she had the gall to ask questions about all that lavish spending habits about the board and the college president. For a long time, hers was the lone voice of objection. Her job, she said, was to represent the taxpayer and the tuition payer. She repeatedly asked for answers, but was repeatedly told, in the words of the Tribune, to sit down and shut up. Vice Chairwoman of the College of DuPage Board of Trustees, Catherine Hamilton, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. It's great to be here.
Well, there were a lot of votes. They all seem to be 6-1. You were that one lone holdout. I assume it was kind of a long, lone, punishing process for you.
Well, I have to say that it has been punishing, but I feel as though it's the right thing to do. I'm representing the taxpayers and I'm representing the community. And I feel as though my fellow board members have forgotten who elected them. So I'm glad to do that for them.
Kathy, when you first became a trustee, were you aware of any of the history of all of this, or was it new to you as it became evident through the meetings you attended?
I thought there might be something going on in the beginning, but as time progressed, my fears were confirmed in February 2013 when I became acquainted with the problems with the radio station, the potential fraud at the radio station. And then in May, I was asked for $20 million to agree to a $20 million grant that would fund a learning and teaching center, which was not substantiated by the economics or the demographics.
Now that was the $20 million from the state. That really, from what I read, the school wasn't justified in having, but I don't know if it was the president or the board were kind of going through a lot of gymnastics to try to create a justification to get that money.
Yes, I believe that there was a lot of gymnastics going on there, and in fact, in the final analysis, I felt like it was not supported, so I did not vote for it, and that began my censure.
Well, the trustees, they are effectively the gatekeeper, and they didn't notice or they didn't step in on that one other point you made about the contractor who was an engineer at the radio station who had to build the school for $200,000 or so, and now he is up for criminal charges.
That's correct. After I learned about the fraud, I asked the board chair to put in place an audit committee that would address those issues, and I was completely rebuffed from that. And that is what began my quest to dig deeper into the problems at the college.
Now, there were a lot of meetings after the word started getting out about what was going on, and you had actually a lot of supporters at those meetings who were rather agitated during the meetings as to what was going on. Was that at least giving you a sense that things are moving in the right direction? Word is getting out, the spotlight now is shining?
I think that, yes, absolutely. I think that the reform movement at the College of DuPage is gaining momentum. People are understanding the problem. The most visible sign of what's been going on there was the president's buyout, $760,000 for no reason at all, in my opinion. So we are continuing, and in fact, around the corner, we have elections next week, and I am proposing a slate of new candidates that can turn this college around.
Yes.
Bernstein, Napolitano, and Mazzocchi.
I have the flyer right here. It was sent to me at my home. I live in DuPage County, and there you are. You're not running because your term isn't up yet, but there are these three people here, part of the clean slate for College DuPage. Did you actually go out and recruit those members?
I actually asked for many people to apply for this slate, and these were the three that I decided on.
So let me ask you, no matter what the composition of the board is, do you feel vindicated, at least for attracting attention to the COD Board of Trustees? I have to believe that it's somewhat invisible to most people.
I do, yes, number one, I do feel vindicated to some degree, and I will feel more vindicated if these three candidates get elected to the board and I can turn the college around and reform a lot of the problems that are out there in terms of good governance and proper oversight.
Where do things stand right now with the board? I mean, there's no indictment, but there is the county is investigating. There have been the subpoenas that have been asked for. What have meetings been like? Is there real tension in the atmosphere? Because this is serious stuff now.
Yes, there's a lot of tension in the atmosphere during the meetings. The meetings are what I would consider brutal. But we are making progress, and I think, you know, like you said, the community is really understanding what's going on, and hopefully we will have a new board, we will have a new majority on April 7th, and we'll be able to turn this college around.
If that happens, what will be the priority that you will pose at the next meeting?
The first priority, Bill, is to enact a structure that allows the board to have more power. Right now, the policies have been divided from the procedures. I know this is a little technical, but 5 years ago, the policies were divided out and minimized the power of the board. So I want to restore the power of the board so the board is in charge of the college instead of the president being in charge of the board.
So the board,
that is my, yeah.
That's your priority, because that's the function of the board, to be sort of the gatekeeper, right, the watcher of what the president does, and to hold that individual accountable.
Exactly. And then the second thing I'd like to do is put in place proper audit committees. I was down in Springfield testifying last week about the importance of putting audit committees in community colleges. And if we had proper oversight at the College of DuPage, we could minimize, in fact, all of these financial oversight problems, get rid of the grand jury investigations, and proceed with teaching people at that college, which is what our mission is. Our mission is not to chase down the president and shenanigans.
Particularly when you consider that the school is basically paid for by taxpayers. I see the bill every quarter, as well as tuition. Kathy Hamilton, member of the Board of Trustees at the College of DuPage, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, Bill. Thank you.
Well, let me ask you a question.